cash on my cash stack. High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, getting money on DeFi, mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run, you better run when the runners run.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. All hell is breaking loose. You better pay attention. It's time to stand up and fight for the truth. As always, we got the man here to break it down, Ricardo Hamilton, a.k.a. M.I.M.S, making it make sense. Man, my mind is going crazy this week, but how are you doing?
It's hard for everybody's mind should be going crazy this week with everything that's going on, brother. Real talk, but I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Hey, we're trying to make the best of these crazy times right now. And bro, we talk about this all the time, right? It's like, I think this is it. Like, this is their final act, their final push to try to get us to either give up or stop or just take over the world, because they are throwing everything at us right now. I mean, you got the markets crashing. You got Trump attempted assassination. You got, Marxist running for the Democrat National Party to be president. You got British, basically an open civil war right now. So, guys, we're going to try to make sense of all this tonight and give you guys as much truth as possible and give you some solutions of things that you can do right now. So, M.I.M.S, I don't know if you've ever read 1984, but I know you're familiar with it, right? It's George Orwell, and it's about this dystopia future where the state controls everything. They monitor everything. You're literally, arrested for nothing. And I just want to get some news out so that people know, like, what is really happening, and so they can wake up, because this isn't like, red versus blue, Democrat versus Republican. This is way bigger than politics. This is like our way of living. And when I saw this video today, I was just blown away. So my comment was 1984 is here in full effect. Will migrant gangs riot and kill people on the street? Police arrest an old man for Facebook comments. So you guys got to listen to this. This is literally like if they made a movie about 1984, this is what they would play.
So,
what do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well, I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
What?
127 of the Communications Act, okay? So you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question, something which you later are in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested?
going to be arrested, okay?
Right.
So you got to the police station.
Right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pockets, Thomas?
I've got my keys. That's about it, I think. Keys.
So, anyone who's been arrested, we can search them under Section 32 of the Policing and Evidence Act.
Right.
And that's for dangerous items.
Hey, you said I was going to be arrested under some what information? I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Made some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's transferred.
Can you tell me what this comment was?
Okay, well, we'll do that when we interview.
All right. And so, what am I going to be locked up for the night, or?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Right. Do I need to
Unless
take
you
my
film
medications
us.
with me?
Yes, we will look at taking all of that.
So, bro, like, there's literally riots in the streets right now. People are just getting stabbed randomly, not getting arrested. And here we have just clowns going and arresting some old man who needs to take his medication to jail because he made comments on Facebook.
Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't seen that video. That is some Orwellian type stuff going on right there. That's wild. And that's probably where we're going at the rate. That's why we love our freedoms here, freedom of speech. But I'm telling you, that's what they want to take away from us. Our ability to, express our opinions. I don't know what he posted, but that's crazy to see that, they're at his home ready to arrest him because of some posts that he made on Facebook. That's wild.
So again, guys, if we don't stand up to this and do something about it, like it's coming here, and it's kind of already here. So again, let's look at this. Okay, just because I talk about Marxism all the time, so I just want everyone to see this. This is in Philadelphia. So they're yelling "Class War 2024." That was in Philadelphia this week. Okay. And then this is, if I was Donald Trump, this is the clip I would play over and over and over again. If you guys don't know, okay, Marxism, communism is critical theory, and the word to describe that in our vernacular right now is woke, right? Being woke, using the right pronouns, believing a certain thing, not questioning authority, believing that free speech doesn't exist because it's hate speech. That is wokeism. Okay, it comes from critical theory. I've done multiple videos on this and studied it extensively. But this is, if I was Donald Trump, I would just literally play this on loop all day long.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
All right, I won't make you listen to that again, Mems. But guys, and we'll get into her VP pick here, but listen, guys, we don't care what party you're with, we don't care about your views, but you have to understand the needle has completely shifted of what Democrat versus Republican was, even when Obama was here, even back in the 2000s. Okay, the Democrat Party has been taken over by Marxists, as many of our institutions have, and they want to destroy the liberal order. Okay, they are not liberals, they are Marxists, and they want to destroy the liberal order of free speech, of law and order, because they believe they have to destroy that in order to create a new regime. I know that's a lot to take in, Mims, but any reaction you have when it comes to wokeism and what is going on right now in American politics?
It's over. I mean, people are suffering from cognitive dissonance. You can share with them and show them what's going on, but everything is feelings based. It's how I feel about the candidate and how I feel about a situation, but not really getting to the root and really understanding, what's going on. They don't even know her values really, and how they're going to affect their lives. It's just, I'm just telling you, it's so divided. It's divided, and it's almost like it doesn't matter what you say or what you show. People have already made their decisions. The line has been drawn in the sand, and it's easier to tell who is who and on what side, and I think that's a good thing in that sense, because I want to know who somebody is. I want to know, where their views, where their morals, where their ideas about how society should be ran lies. But a lot of times when you ask these people, these questions, they don't really have like a real answer. They just kind of, they don't really have a real answer or view. They can't really articulate, their opinion on any given thing or the track record of who they're voting for on any given opinion. But it's just it's a dumbing down of America that has taken place for decades, that has got us here. And the poison in the food and the water and everything else. And it's just bad. It's just bad, either way. And they have the minions. They have their group, that's going to gonna follow that. And it is what it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, and listen, when I was a teacher, I would try to present both sides. So like if I was a Democrat, I would be pissed as hell. Like I would want RFK. Like if RFK was against Trump, I think we have a real choice, a real debate, and we talk about real topics. And again, you might love Kamala, but nobody ever voted for her to become president.
Yeah, nobody voted for her. And their views on the border and immigration is horrible. When you ask them about reparations for Black folks, Black people, it's not there. They won't do it. But
Right.
they're willing to give millions of dollars to people who just come across the border to give them housing and food and help them get set up. But there's no money for the veterans. There's no money for the elderly. There's no money for the children, education. I mean, it's just so many things, that they divide you on. And that's really what it's coming down to. They're dividing you on the lines of race. They're dividing you on the lines of gender. They're dividing you on the lines of ethnicity and religion. That's their tactic. It's just division, and some people see through it. I'm more and more people are waking up to the lies and Democratic Party of promises to our community and never getting any results. I'm seeing that on TikTok. So they're even she admitted it. They're the underdogs right now. They're not gonna it'd be hard to imagine them winning in November. I really would. Can't see that.
I mean, yeah, but again, Ricardo, you're using facts, logic, and reason to make decisions. And I would say anyone that says that they have no chance of winning underestimates the Democrat Party establishment and machine. They know how to rig or win elections, however you want to look at it. They've been doing it for a long time. They are highly motivated and highly funded. So I don't think this is why we're talking about this, guys, is like, it's time to get off the sidelines. Okay. I don't like to get political. I don't want to get political, but it needs to be done with what we're seeing here. So this clip right here, M.I.M.S, blew me away. I literally couldn't believe that I watched this. So
and before you play that, I will say, I want to highlight what you said again, though. They say Trump is the end of democracy, but nobody voted for Kamala Harris.
Bingo.
I mean, that's not very democratic. Nailed it. And all of a sudden she's the best candidate. Why is she the only option? Why was, they just gave her the nominee and you just have to go along with it.
Yeah.
It's just
when I back 10 years ago, I was used to go to conventions and you'd have to have votes and use Robert Rules of Order at these conventions to see who won the actual votes. That's the fact that they robbed the Democrat voters and party members of that's the end of democracy. If I was a Democrat now, even if I like Kamala, I would be pissed that they didn't let us have our convention and actually get out there and vote. They don't want any of that. They don't they will not allow any voice of dissension. It must be shut down 100%.
Yep.
So today, Vice President Harris selected Tim Walz as her vice president. So this is his wife describing the Minneapolis riots that happened because of the George Floyd incident.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
So this lady loves just the idea of rioting and destroying multiple cities in Minnesota so much. Have you ever just loved to smell rubber, Ricardo? And you kept your windows open so you could smell more rubber while the cities around you burned, and your husband, who is the governor of Minnesota, didn't call in the National Guard for multiple days and allowed the city to just be destroyed?
Yeah, it seems like that's something that she enjoyed. Right. Smell the fresh rubber. That's funny.
That smells like democracy to me.
Right.
All right, what's the next crazy internet thing we need to talk about here?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, this one's even crazier. I forgot how crazy this one was. Wait till you hear this one. So this is again his wife.
And having a chance every day.
Hold on. This is Gwen Waltz, wife of Tim, saying criminals should get as many chances as they want. So who cares about law and order? Because remember, like I said, guys, this is not the old Democrat versus Republican where we would fight about gun rights and abortion. This is the end of the rule of law.
And having a chance every day. Like, how many chances do you get? My answer to that is as many chances as you need, which doesn't really please those law and order people. And having a chance every day. Like,
so again, what happened is people that rioted, that looted stores, that attacked police, the very few that were arrested, Kamala Harris raised money to then get them out of prison because they were political agitators.
Mm-hmm.
So
today is so in your face. You know, we're in apocalyptic times. You know, the Great Awakening. You know, what was done in the dark is coming to light. You know, who these people are, what they represent, their values. You know, what they want to do to the children, what they want to continue to allow being exposed to our children. You know, and everything else. They've been exposed. You know, I think there's more people that are waking up to who they are and what they want to do because of social media than most people realize. But the media is so good, like you said, you know, the media and the DNC and their propaganda campaign, because they, you know, even when Obama ran, you know, the first time, they had everybody. You know, everybody was caught up in the illusion, in the dream. You know, and now people are waking up and realizing nothing changed. In fact, it got worse. You know, same thing with inflation. You know, people, you know, care about feeding their families, keeping a roof over their head, being able to maintain their standard of living. You know, they can't explain what they're going to do with inflation. You know, I mean, it's just, it's really, it's a joke, really.
Oh,
it really is.
You just reminded me, we're gonna play one of our favorite clips here in a moment. But Jennifer G on YouTube, great comment. Oh, she called it riots. Okay, I thought them call it peaceful protests. Remember, they were mostly peaceful protests. That's what the media was telling us.
Yeah, divide and conquer, man. That's all they're doing. It's all they've done. You know, they just get you on race. Oh, he's a racist. You know, and not really looking at the facts of the whole situation. But our people are waking up to that. You know, they find ways to, you know, because a lot of us suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder, and they know how to get at us, you know, with certain things. But I think a lot of people are waking up and seeing the BS for what it is.
Okay, you're gonna remember this one, M.I.M.S. In case you were wondering how we got the Kamala crash, this is the Biden-Harris administration's hand-picked Economic Advisors Chair, Jared Bernstein, struggling to understand basic economics and the consequences of uncontrolled money printing.
Yeah, I like this video.
So yeah, this one's great, guys. Here we go.
The U.S. government can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, I mean, again, some of this stuff gets, some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do? they
Is that what they do?
Is that what they do? Am I the advisor?
Who is this guy again? He's the what? Advisor to.
He's the economic advisor for the Biden-Harris administration. He's the chair.
He's the chair.
He's the chair. He's the top dude, Ricardo.
This is crazy.
Not you.
This is crazy. This is the top guy running it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And he can explain what we do every single day to people about really what's going on.
All right, let's finish this.
They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily.
So he said MMT, that means modern money theorization. Or no, what is it?
Theory.
Right? Yeah, modern money theory, MMT, which is just Keynesian economics, which just means print money. That's basically almost all economics or economists are into MMT. I'm not, I'm an Austrian, but that's what he's talking about when he says that. Basically, it just means we just print money, we just make more of it and have massive inflation.
Confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money to yeah, I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like
what?
M.I.M.S, you got to make it make sense here.
I can't make him make sense. I don't know what they're paying him. I don't know. He should not be getting paid. He needs to get fired. They need to hire Mike and Ricardo. Okay.
I would vote M.I.M.S in a heartbeat to be on
crazy.
Any economic council.
So now we wonder why the economy is the way it is, why Kamala Harris can explain inflation and Joe Biden can explain inflation. They have no idea what they're doing. But these are the people that are in the crowds and they're cheering her on and they're cheering them on. And these are the people that they're listening to. This is the chief to run the economy, the economic advisor. He can't even explain how this debt-based monetary system works, how the government creates bonds, the banks buy the bonds and give them to the Fed, and the Fed creates dollars, and the banks loan out. He can't explain that. He doesn't understand.
You off the cuff just explained it better in 14 seconds.
I mean,
all right.
He's
got
crazy.
14 seconds left. Maybe he saves himself at the end.
The only thing he is right about, I was going to say, the only thing that he is right about that he knows is that technically the U.S. government cannot default because they can just print more money. But he doesn't understand how the creation of this, and we got to put air quotes on that because it's not money, the creation of debt. Every time money enters the system, debt is entering the system. But that debt is a Federal Reserve's note, which is a private banking cartel. They're not part of the U.S. government. So then we have to pay that debt plus interest, which means we have to borrow more debt just to pay the interest.
Bingo.
Go ahead, brother.
Nailed it.
And the reason why they can't become insolvent is because it's worth nothing. It's a creation. It's a fugazi. It's created out of thin air.
Yeah.
So it'd be like me just, all I need to do is, it's like Dumb and Dumber where he writes the IOUs.
Yeah.
Like you can just keep writing IOUs. Here's a note. Here's more. We'll talk about, we're going to start that tomorrow with the Fed. We're going to talk about that next.
I don't know what they're talking about, because it's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
Hold on. Can't find my stupid. Dang it. Sorry, guys. I was not on it tonight.
Can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
Stupid.
All right.
It obviously begs the question.
Okay. Yes, that is the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors for President Joe Biden, or who's ever running the White House right now. We're not really sure right now.
That's crazy. Well, this is why we're telling people to hedge. How do you hedge against their stupidity? physical silver and gold, man. I'm just telling you right now. You can't hold on to dollars and save dollars. These people have no idea what they're doing. They're going to fund every dang war and whatever thing they can come up with, and they're going to kill the value of the purchasing power of the dollar, and they're going to recommend that we have 0 interest rates and just give everybody free money, and the poor and middle class are going to continue to get wiped out through inflation. It's crazy.
So in case you guys missed it, we'll get into a little more detail, but there was a pretty big crash on the stock market. The U.S. stock market and the crypto market, and it came from Japan is really what triggered it. I mean, the economy is not in good condition at all, multiple levels, but people were able to borrow yen, which is the Japanese currency, for free. They had basically 0% interest. So all these big investors would borrow the yen for 0%, and then they would go invest it in the stock market, in crypto, wherever. Well, Japan raised their interest rates, so now it wasn't free money, and people had to start paying interest on it. So a lot of people, it's called unwinding, they pulled their money out of those other risk assets to pay back their Japanese yen. That's kind of what triggered this. But again, you guys want to make sure you understand what's going on.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working. Yeah, go ahead and clap.
Yeah, go ahead and clap, Ricardo. Go ahead and clap for that. Bidenomics is working. Massive inflation, huge debt, and market collapse, and illegal aliens invading everything.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Kamala Harris doesn't care about families. Ask Willie Brown's wife. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's Bidenomics. They have no idea what they're doing, folks. I'm telling you, they're getting ready to go all out, and you got to protect yourself against them, because they ain't coming to save you.
No.
It's horrible.
Nope.
So the money printer is going burr again, brother. As I saw you posted today, breaking, USA is about to launch a 50 billion treasury buyback. That was what the one dude couldn't explain. So 8.5 billion buyback in August, 31 billion in September, 10 billion in October. That is the printers being turned back on, probably because of the stock market crash. The economy's bad. So this is the creation of money out of thin air. Mims, anything you want to add when it comes to what this means for people and their local economy?
Yeah, we said it before. You guys have to understand how the monetary system works. At present, we have a debt-based fiat model, which means that more debt has to be created for the system to continue to function. And if debt ever stopped being injected into the system, we would have a collapse, a crash, credit crisis, liquidity crisis. It will just collapse, because it's a house of cards. This whole thing is really not based off of anything of real value. And so they have to continue to create debt. And as they create more debt, it takes away from the value from the debt that's in circulation, the dollar, the money. And this is why the poor and middle class are going to continue to get wiped out, and why the wealthy are going to continue to get wealthier, because they understand that simple mechanism of the economy. They understand that they're going to always create more debt and print more dollars, because if they ever stop, the economy will crash. Anytime the economy is in trouble, they're going to print more money to get it out of trouble. That's the only thing they can do, and adjust interest rates. They control money supply and interest rates. And when they lower interest rates, it makes it cheaper for them to borrow money, and the corporations will buy back their stock and prop up assets. And so the wealthy continue to get wealthy because they buy assets that rise during inflationary environments. And the poor and middle class, they don't have assets. They just have liabilities and expenses, and they holding on to dollars. They're saving dollars in the bank. They're trying to be cash rich and not asset rich, right? And so the cash is losing value. The cash is losing value. So people like us, we get excited when we see these things, because we have the gold and silver. We have the crypto. We understand that the dollar is going to go into assets, and we accumulate those assets to make sure that we are more financially secure and grow wealth. While the average person, they don't understand it, but they think that it's a free lunch when they're getting a stimulus check. They don't understand that they give with one hand and they take with the other. All that stimulus money you got during COVID, you're complaining about because of the high grocery prices, because of the high cost of living. And you didn't, and most people haven't made the correlation that is part of the problem, them printing money. Now it calls for fiscal responsibility, but they want to point out that, well, the Republicans want to cut this government program and they want to cut this and they want to cut that because they're trying to preserve what's left of what we have. You see, because there is no free lunch. You can't just, give away money and print money and create all these departments and create jobs and the government creating all these jobs. It just doesn't work like that. You see? And so, that's the problem. People, the Democrats, and they'll promise you a free lunch and we're going to do this. And the other parties realizing that, look, to save the value of our currency in this country, we're going to have to get fiscally responsible because the rest of the world has to. Every other country around the world has to be fiscally responsible. They can't just continue to print money and print money and print money. The only reason we can do that is because we have the world reserve currency, we have the Fed. But that's coming to an end. The world is dumping dollars, they're dumping treasuries. Yep. They're no longer required to buy dollars to get oil. Okay. BRICS is now creating an alternative to where they don't have to use dollars. So that demand for dollars is gone. It's going away. But this is why it's just so important that people hedge against that, because and buy assets, because that's what's going to benefit from the massive money printing.
Yes, 100%. And you can tell Raymond has been running with the runners for a while because it means the bull run is back and will be fire. So you guys see on the right here, the Black Swan 2020 event, the pandemic beginning on the right. Okay, you see it. We had the descending broadening wedge. It dips below it, comes back, and then takes off. You can see on the left here, the Black Swan 2024 is, the yen currency thing, the risk of recession, Trump assassination, some lady who was claimed to be the worst vice president of all time now magically just stumbles in to be the Democrat nominee for president. We have wars going all over. We have Ukraine, Israel, Middle East. Now we got civil war in the UK. It seems like the craziest time. And when that happens, you want to buy assets. Okay. I mean, think about it, M.I.M.S. If we could go back to that first week when silver went to $14, Bitcoin went to 6,000. Think about that. That's just when the pandemic started. Bitcoin went down to $6,000. Even this last dip, it's still above 50. You got to buy when there's when everything seems crazy. That's when you got to buy.
I mean, we're definitely going into a bull run. That might have been the bottom, and we might go into take off from here. There are a lot of still potential risks and headwinds. Obviously, war, globally, and still obviously a banking crisis. Which margin calls will take place, and they're going to sell assets again. And this, when Wall Street collapses, the Dow, S&P stocks, Bitcoin tends to go with it because they're going to pull their money out of crypto to cover their margins and their shorts. But at some point, we will see a divergence. We will see certain digital assets rise in value, gold still rise in value, while the market continues to decline. And that is that event that we all know is coming eventually, and why we want to load up on these assets while they're still cheap.
And while we talk about civil war, and great point from Alexander here. The stimulus check is just like taking drugs from a dealer. They want to hook you in and get you addicted. They have an ulterior motive, and it's not for people's own benefit. Correct, Alexander. It's to make you a slave, keep you on the plantation. That's always their plan. This, again, people that don't understand the power of blockchain, is to even have a chance to stop Bitcoin. Every government in the world would have to successfully coordinate simultaneously to shut down the entire internet everywhere and then keep it off forever. Even in that improbable scenario, the Bitcoin network can be communicated over radio signals and mesh networks. So these people who try to act like there's a zombie apocalypse and Bitcoin won't be used are ridiculous. Even in The Walking Dead, they could still use radio waves. So you would still be able, if we were in zombie apocalypse and there's one, place over there and one place over here, you could still exchange Bitcoin for, that could be your seashells of who has Bitcoin, and it allows you to store and send it all over the world. And guys, this is what we have to start planning for, because as you can see in the UK, they're arresting old men for posting on Facebook. The government has the data. They know who's a patriot, who's on the right, who's against the regime, the powers that be. So again, we saw this in Canada, right? During the pandemic, they literally shut down their bank accounts of the truckers, of the people protesting to support the truckers. So again, this is how we prepare for civil war, is we decentralize. We need to pull out as much power and resources from the system. So if you have $10,000 and it's sitting in a bank, you're giving the enemy ammunition to kill you, to take away your freedom of speech, and to control you and your power. The more money we pull out of the system, whether it's with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, and we're going to talk about gold and silver here in a minute, that is the weapon of this civil war. I don't know if we'll get down to bullets. Obviously, I'd always tell people to buy bullets. But when I say civil war, it's a war for your mind. It's a culture war. And it's a war of power. And what is money actually? Currency. It's energy. So where you store that energy matters. Are you giving it to the enemy? Or are you taking it out and bringing it to the people who want to fight for liberty and freedom? Mims, your thought on that as I queue up the next video here.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing you can do is leave your money in the banks right now. Major liability, third-party counter risk to you and your family. The banks are loaning out 100% of your money right now. Fractional reserve requirements were set at 0 after COVID. The banks aren't giving you any interest, on your money. And they've already passed bail-in laws. So literally they can take your checking, savings, safety deposit box to shore up, their bank. There's no reason to leave money in the bank, honestly. Maybe enough to cover some bills for ACH, that come out of your account. But outside of that, it's a major liability just to leave, cash in the bank. You should have an emergency fund that should be in cash, in somewhere outside of the bank where you can get your hands on it, regardless of the time of day. And in your savings, as far as saving your money, you have to do that in physical assets, physical silver and gold. And your investments need to be in the future, which is blockchain and crypto, because everything is going to be tokenized. Okay. Everything, the stock market, everything is going to be on the blockchain. It's being set up right now. A lot of the rails and everything are already in place. It's just a matter of time. You're just waiting for one event, whatever it is, but we're very close. Even I posted earlier today in Japan, they're going to be, all the banks essentially going to be using XRP, in Japan. This is happening. It's happening fast. I wouldn't even wait to 2025. If you don't got your house in order now, it might be too late.
No, 100%. And this is a great question from Mark James. With this economic downturn, what will the future of high school and college graduates be? There won't be any jobs. Yes, I agree with you. If you didn't know, Mark, I was a high school history and special education teacher for 17 years. That education system, especially in America, is donezo. I feel bad for the state it is right now for the children. But jobs are going away. They're going overseas. They're going to AI. Most of the jobs we now won't matter. I would always urge students to go into the actual trades. Okay, electrician, plumbing. I think well, I don't know about coding anymore because I think AI is going to do a lot of that. But this is why you have to find alternative ways to make income, to not have just the regular job that we thought of in the traditional sense. You know, we have all sorts of solutions. We have a decentralized e-commerce way that people can make money. Like, you really have to become an online entrepreneur. And we try to help you guys get those tools to be able to do that so that you're able to travel wherever you want and, you know, do various things that are outside the norm. You have to go against the grain. But let me put it this way. The sooner you go against the grain and what the masses are doing, the sooner you will become free and have success. If you're doing what you are told to do and doing what they used to do, you're probably going to end up losing.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, the government and the school system has failed to prepare the youth for the future that we're going into and where we are right now. The jobs aren't coming back. AI and robotics, automation, it's here. They don't need human labor anymore.
Nope.
They needed human labor during the industrial era when they needed you in the factories. But right now they're laying off tens of thousands of people, companies, corporations, they're laying people off. Everybody's, it's a cutback. Even with the government, a lot of these agencies, they have to get cut back. So a lot of people just, aren't prepared, especially the youth. I mean, they have nothing to rely on. The dollar is devaluing. It's losing its status and credibility around the world. Social Security won't be there. I mean, and that's obviously, we're talking about, way further down the line. But the best thing you could probably do is get into, real skills, real resources, like Mike said, trades, agriculture. Okay. Learn agriculture, learn the things that are going to make you self-sustaining, how to grow your own food and shelter and, clothing and purification of water and things of that nature, things about the future where communities are coming together and being of value in that sense. Because right now, I mean, AI is doing surgeries. Robots are doing surgeries right now. I mean, you're going to be able to build, AI and robotics is just taking over. So yeah, people definitely need to be aware of that and adjust accordingly.
So, I enjoy watching the Fresh and Fit podcast. They're kind of known for having intersectional dynamics and having men and women on to talk about, different relationship stuff, but they always do Money Mondays, and they're one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And they literally had an entire podcast for over an hour of how to invest in precious metals, which, if you guys have been following us, we talk about this at least weekly. Ricardo talks about it daily. But I just want to bring in, I guess, a third-party verification to show you guys everything that we've been telling you consistently for almost 5 years now is spot on. And then maybe a few areas we might disagree with them. So this is from the Fresh and Fit podcast. We're just going to watch about 5 minutes of it.
Earlier, that the precious metal asset class is private. Can you explain that I think I know what you mean by that, but for the audience, they're like, wait, what does he mean by it being private?
Yeah, well, it's the last investment that you own by yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that those shoes and those other things, sure. But obviously what's the market for those? Right now there's no market, right? So if you have a lot of those, things that were hot for a while, classic cars, great example, it's down too. Mm-hmm. You have to find a buyer. These things have a buyer anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Right.
And there's a lot of people that say that you can't take this stuff with you. I mean, I flew this here from.
So I want to stick on that point for a minute, M.I.M.S, because people who don't understand gold and silver say this all the time. They're like, well, what am I going to do with this? I can't go to the store and buy this. Well, of course not. That's because you want that one step there to make you actually save real money. Okay. So if I want to sell this, I can't go to a store, but there's ways I can sell this online. I can go to different stores and get cash to buy what I need. That's good. But this and gold are the number one liquid assets in the entire world. So M.I.M.S, I'll kind of let you maybe, hit that home run. But like when I went to Dubai, I could not believe how many gold and silver shops there were. I mean, it was just for miles.
Yeah, liquidity. It comes down to liquidity, and gold and silver is easily liquidatable. And like he was saying, gold and silver is money all around the world. Okay, no matter where you are in the world, it's money. It's had value since the times of Egypt. There's nothing new that has happened on the planet where gold and silver has not maintained its value. That's one of the things I talk about with crypto. Crypto hasn't seen war, global war. We don't know how crypto is going to perform under certain global events. But gold and silver always has and will have value. And then, you actually do want that extra barrier to stop you from spending your money. When I have cash, I'm gonna spend the cash because cash is for spending. If I put cash in a safe, I literally just put $5,000 in the safe, and I'm telling you, probably within 90 days it's gone, because I'm gonna find something to invest it in or asset or whatever. But it's too easy to spend. Right. But when I have it in gold and silver, when I have a silver bar sitting here, I'm not going to liquidate them silver bars, but I can at any moment. These are assets. We talk about leveraging assets. I don't even like to sell my assets if I don't have to. I go leverage them. I use them as collateral, and I go get paper money. I might pay a little interest, but I still get my asset back, because the only reason I should be liquidating or leveraging my asset, I should say, is because I need to make an investment to make more money, not to go buy a liability or pay off an expense. Right? No, so these 100%. Are assets. You leverage assets. You use them as collateral to get paper money to go grow your money. This is how you save your money. You don't want it easy for you to spend your savings. You want that extra step to stop you from, making that impulsive decision like we always do when it comes to the easy access and spendability of cash.
That's why we call them M.I.M.S, ladies and gentlemen.
From across the country. I mean, you can move you could put a few $1 million in a shoebox, right? And so what other asset can you do that with? Right. And there really isn't.
Take it with you everywhere.
Anywhere.
Question, with gold, you have to, if you leave the country, you do have to report if it's worth over 10,000, right?
But I know people that have been able to get out of the country, and there's a lot of ways to do that. I don't want to get in any trouble here, but what were we joking about? We were joking about how
the politician.
Well, there's the Bob Menendez, there's that. But what you were saying about how when there's a lot of boats that lost their,
I'm one of the sales guys at Noble, and I have tons of clients that take all their gold and silver on boats and sinks to the bottom of the ocean, right?
I see.
Right? All the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
Nigerian.
Yeah, and you guys haven't acquired any gold or silver before, right? This is
you're in silver. Yeah,
you're
silver,
in silver. Okay.
But gold, no, not yet.
Gold, okay.
But yeah, then we could definitely talk about the differences between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you? We don't want to interrupt you. Did you finish the part with the?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So
he was just talking about privacy, right? I think the idea is that there's ways to keep this stuff private. Also, the fact that you can just store it at your house, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's in a safe, and I think people
no banks,
and people. The world has become fractionalized. Everything is from real estate to.
So that's what we talk about all the time. There, M.I.M.S, is the zero counterparty risk. And maybe drive home gold being a tier 1 asset.
Yeah. So one of the other benefits that most people don't realize when it comes to your savings is that you want to be able to save, but you also want to have your money grow for you, and you don't want to expose it to risk. And that's one thing about gold. The third party to gold and silver is God. It's God's money. You have faith in God. You're gonna have faith in God's money. And so it's a hedge. It's how you hedge, it's how you diversify, but it's a tier 1 asset as well. And what that means is that it is accepted 100% for value. It is zero risk associated to it. Let me say it that way. There is zero risk associated to gold because it is a tier 1 asset. Okay. And that is how you want to save your money. You don't want to save your money in something that's losing value, where you're exposed to risk, where there's some potential of loss and liability and things of that nature. You want to protect your savings and you want it to grow for you. And even right now, over the last 20 years, I think gold is up over 500% over the last 20 years. I mean, gold is almost, broke out at an all-time high relatively recently. And we're going to see silver just skyrocket here soon as well. So it's, it's how you secure your wealth and grow your wealth without exposing yourself to risk. And it's actually the only way I know to save money, honestly.
Yeah, it's, I'll be honest, I'm not the best saver, but the easiest way to do it is for me buying gold and silver on autopilot. And
I became a good saver with silver and gold.
Yeah. So last things tonight, guys, we just want to show you how to get the best prices on gold and silver. So Fresh and Fit had on Noble Gold. Okay. Every podcast, every YouTube channel you watch, almost every single person has a gold and silver buyer, or something that they're promoting. Some of these ones are absolute scams. Like I've read some very sad stories about people rolling over their IRAs, and the prices they charge them are just astronomical. Now, at Noble Gold, I think, is at least a reputable company, okay? But I will bet $1 million right now, we can get you way better prices. So I just want to, again, show you guys is when people ask me, what do I start doing with gold and silver? I tell them, buy Canadian silver maple leafs on autopilot. I think it is the best bang for your buck. So right now, guys, you can literally buy a Canadian silver maple leaf from At Cost Metals for under $30, $29.27. I think, and not just me, M.I.M.S, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, thinks this is the most undervalued asset, most needed asset on the entire planet. So real quick, these are two of the most popular online places to buy gold and silver. JM Bullion, even if you pay with a check and e-wire, wants $34.24. So we beat them by over $4. And we do this all day, guys. This is like the 500th time we've done a price comparison. And every single time we beat JM Bullion. And then we can go to SD Bullion. Well, for a second there, M.I.M.S, I thought they had erased this because I couldn't see it. And I was like, did they listen to us? But no, guys, they claim the lowest prices, period.
My detector test determined that was a lie.
And that is definitely a lie, because even if you use a check or wire, it's still $32.53 to order from SD Bullion. And again, we are at $29.27. Nobody can touch us.
That's huge value, man. Huge value.
Even if you buy 1,500 of these coins, you're still going to pay about $1.50 more per coin. Like this is crazy, guys. Like At Cost Metals cannot be beat.
Yeah, so At Cost Metals has the best prices. They're beating everybody. They have all the same products every other company has. Eagles, Maples, Pandas, Cougarans, you name it, we have it. And they have it at the best price. Nobody can beat them, and there are no minimums, no maximums. When Mike showed you those other companies, they had a quantity. It was a certain amount you had to buy to get a certain price. The price you see is the price you pay, regardless of the amount you get.
So I just have to show you guys, I ordered a ton of these coins because, again, what I love about silver is you can preserve history on it. Because what if in 10 years, Ricardo, the media tries to claim Trump was never shot? That never happened. They delete all the photo, which they've already done. Facebook already banned this photo. And then they claimed, like, oops, that was an accident. But what if like 1984, you're not allowed to post this photo online. You get arrested if you post this photo online. And then they tell the students in the history class, oh no, Donald Trump was never shot. That was a conspiracy theory. He was never shot.
Mm-hmm.
This allows us to preserve real history on real money that's decentralized, because one day we might have to tell a story that's different than what the powers that be tell us.
Yeah.
And this is a funny comment from Red Star. So we have, I like Silver Eagles as well, but you can see they're a little bit more than the Silver Maples. So right now, an American Silver Eagle is $30.72 from At Cost Metals. Let's see what it is from JM Bullion. They just have a higher premium on them. They are the best coin. Let's be real. Like, the best coin to get is an American Silver Eagle. It is the best bullion there is. Okay, we're gonna crush them on this one for sure.
Yeah.
E-check wire 35.66. We're at $30.72. So some people just, it's up to your own preference, but a lot of times the spread on Silver Eagles is way more. So right now it's not, but it's just, I'm just trying to keep it simple for new people. But yeah, I mean, we have everything. I mean, I can scroll here for a long time. Okay. So yes, we have lots of selection. And if somebody shared this with you, you can get back to them. Reach out to us if you want to get in this special club to get the best prices on gold and silver. Typically, we save about 15 to 20% on gold and silver. So again, if one of the number one podcasts in the world is going to do a whole thing about how to invest in precious metals, if Costco is selling, massive amounts of gold and silver and we beat them by 15%, to me, this is, the number one membership you should have over Netflix, over Hulu, over Spotify, over X Premium. I mean, we literally pay memberships for everything right now. M.I.M.S, does it make sense to pay a membership to get real money for 15 to 20% off?
Yeah, when people do the price comparisons, like for some people, they don't like the idea of getting a membership. And I'm telling you, you're not doing the numbers. You're not really looking at the numbers. And when you do the numbers, you realize the membership pays for itself and you're in the money right after that. When you add up what you're going to buy from anywhere else, and then you add up how many coins you're going to buy, and if you'll buy again, which you'll buy. And by the time you realize it, you've saved more money and you got more metal because you got the At Cost Metals membership and actually bought through At Cost Metals. So anybody who is, that's what I tell people all the time. You either want to overpay, or you're just comfortable with sharing companies with people that are overcharging them, because there's a better solution out there in the market.
Yeah, if you like to lose 15 or 20% and pay more, don't get a membership.
Right.
I don't know why you would want to do that, but
benefits to a membership, pays for itself. It really does.
Red Star, good question. So right now, At Cost is just shipping in the United States. We are looking to open up international markets soon. So sometime this year, we should be able to ship to Canada, Australia, South Africa, and UK, and possibly some other countries. So just plug in down below, guys. You can get into Free Runner School. We're giving crypto education. We're giving you guys multiple businesses to make money online, as we talked about, that the jobs will be probably going away because of AI and a bunch of other things. And guys, we don't have that much time to cover the markets today, but I'm buying crypto. Okay. Could it go lower? Sure, it always can. But when I see this much, let me just go to number. So Bitcoin down 14%, Ethereum 23, Solana 16, XRP 21. These are sales, guys. Polkadot 17, Chainlink 22. I mean, you're going to 20 to 30% sale here. So I'm buying. I never stop buying every day. I buy every day. That's what you do. Just don't Stop. Okay, set it on autopilot. We teach you guys how to do this in the school down below. Join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
We buy every day. Okay.
Yep.
So whether it's up, whether it's down, I just keep buying. If you guys have any other questions when it comes to how to get gold and silver, just reach out to us wherever you're watching, and we will get you guys all those answers. And I'm just excited about it, man, because we're helping people win. My last thought tonight, Mims, is it's time to get serious about your liberty and freedom. Okay. We're not just talking about, again, you know, I want more guns. I want less guns. I want abortion at 12 weeks. I want it at 36. Okay. I don't care about any of that. Okay. Right now with what's going on. We're talking about, do we have a country? Is there a border? Who can vote? Do we have freedom of speech? Do we have rule of law? Those are the things we're talking about here. Not all these little things that the media puts out there about these things to try to divide us. Which right now, of course, is race, is sex. You know, that's what they do to try to divide us. All right. You got the yin and yang here saying, don't worry about that. Focus on our actual liberties and rights. And when we all come together, we can beat them. But they want us to stay divided. They want us to keep arguing. And like Ricardo said earlier, make decisions based on emotions versus facts, logic, and reason, which is why we need to have the rule of law and an actual border where we don't have just random people coming in who are criminals, bringing in drugs, you know, abusing women and children. So guys, this is time to get serious right now. Even if you're not political or I don't want to talk about that because I may make somebody angry. You don't deserve freedom then. So stand up for what you believe in. Mims, last words tonight.
Yeah. I did see one question about shipping. Just really quickly for those at cost metals, they try to make everything essentially at cost. Really, I just bought some of those Donald Trump coins. I think I paid like $7 shipping or something like that.
I paid $7 for shipping, and I got at least 6 in one account.
Yeah. So it's they're not busting your head for shipping costs. So the last thing I'll say is, look, folks, I'm optimistic. I mean, you know, we started off in, you know, it's, you know, all hell is breaking loose.
Good.
But that's not,
bring it on. Bring it on.
We're ready. You know what I'm saying? We're ready. Look, you know, the world is not going to end in the sense of, you know, like the whole planet's going to blow up and humans aren't going to be here anymore. We're just going through a transition that, you know, it has to take place. And it will be ugly for a lot of people and it will be a blessing for others. Some people will create generational wealth and some people will, you know, be wiped out and cease to exist because of this shift. It's important that you tap in, elevate your consciousness, get in the right mindset, be around the right people, real friends, real skills, real resources, real assets. You know, Robert Kiyosaki talks about fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. You know, make sure you're around real friends, some real family. When times get hard, make sure you're around good people because we are going to be going through some hard times. But there's another side to it. There's a whole nother side to what's coming, right? And you probably will make it through. But how will you be on the other side? Are you going to be in a worse position where you're relying on the government and UBI and CBDCs? Because it's coming. There's a new form of control that's coming, okay? Because not everybody is going to be able to provide for themselves. They're going to need to be taken care of. And you don't want to be one of those people. You want to be self-sufficient. You want to be independent. You want to have the assets. You want to be in control of your money. So it starts with you following the right people, getting the right information, and doing the right things with your money. And that's what we try to do. We try to plug you into the right information, the right resources, the right assets, the right systems, the right networks, okay, that we're utilizing to prepare for what we know is to come. And trust me, the information that we're sharing and what we're doing, we're light years ahead of everybody else. I mean, we share so much value information, you know, dealing with the monetary system better than the chief economic advisor for the damn president. Okay. You watching the live stream, you get better information than the president's getting right now.
Oh,
so make sure Because we got more information too, man. I put a post up earlier, and we'll talk about it maybe later on. But I talked about it might be a good time to get in a HELOC. Me and Mike had a conversation earlier today. We were talking about helping people be your own bank through infinite banking with IULs, and there's just a lot of different things that people can be doing out here that they don't know about. That we're going to make known and help people take advantage of. As well as what we've always done with gold and silver and crypto and other networking systems to help people get ahead. So I'm optimistic for the future. I'm fired up and excited. Take care of your health. Ooh, that's another big stream coming. I'm excited about what we're getting ready to do with self-care. It's not about healthcare anymore. It's about self-care. Okay.
Right.
Get in the gym, and take care of your body. Drink plenty of water, spring water, not that purified crap. Get some spring water in you. But I'm excited. We got a lot of good things coming to you folks.
Yeah, guys, stay positive, unite. We're going to win. I have no doubt about it. Thank you for everyone that came on the live stream tonight. Like it, share it out, drop us any comments. Obviously, we're censored, we're banned, we're shadow banned. So follow us in other places. Follow me on X, Michael Tharp EDU. M.I.M.S, what's yours?
Yeah, it's I believe it's Wealth and Assets.
So I'm Michael Tharp EDU. At Michael Tharp EDU.
Yeah.
Are you Wealth?
Wealth and Assets. WEALTH with a letter N in the middle. There it is. Yep.
Okay. So Ricardo's over here talking about Black's Law Dictionary. That's how deep he's going. Wealth and Assets. There's probably a pretty good chance we will get banned during this election cycle because I'm very ready to go. I'm ready to fight. I'm not going to hold back. If I get banned, if I get kicked off, so be it. This is a civil war. It is a war of the culture and information. And we know what big tech is about. We know that when elections come, they ban people. They banned Steven Crowder off YouTube just last week. So it's coming. Make sure you plug in decentralized networks. We have Telegrams. We have SKOOLs. We're on X. But Facebook and YouTube will probably be the first ones to shut us down when, the rhetorical, intellectual shots are fired.